Iran deal. However, might there be another way to block the deal? Congressman Louie Gohmert of Texas says, yes, there is an alternative. He can block the deal. Congressman, welcome to the program. How are you going to block the deal?
Well, actually, it takes the House doing what we were sworn to do to block the deal. It's called following the Constitution. This agreement, Stuart, is a treaty. It's very clear it's a treaty. We know that anything that changes existing treaties, like the Non-Proliferation Treaty, this does in a number of places. Anything that deals with arms and the right to purchase arms, that's a treaty. Anything that allows for intercontinental ballistic missiles, that's going to be a treaty. This is a treaty. The Constitution requires that a treaty have 2/3 of those present concur in the Senate on ratification. So,
but he'd get that. If you've made it into a treaty, the president would get 2/3 support in the Senate if it was a treaty.
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't?
No, it wouldn't. No. No, all they've been able to say, Stuart, is they have 34 votes for it. They might get 35, 36, 37, but they can't get 67. What the Corker bill did was turn the requirements of the Constitution upside down. The Constitution says you got to get 2/3 to ratify it. Corker said you have to get 2/3 to disapprove it. But when the Corker bill was passed, nobody had seen this agreement. Nobody in Congress, that is, had read it. And we were trusting Kerry. I didn't vote for it. I didn't trust him, but others trusted him when he said this is a non-binding agreement. And the president's saying it's an executive agreement. It's not going to bind future presidents. It's just we can do this without it being a treaty. But once we saw it in July, Stuart, it's very clear it's a treaty. And yeah, so all we have to do in the House.
Yes, but Mitch McConnell says he doesn't think of it as a treaty. It's not a treaty. So Republicans in the Congress are split between the Senate and the House.
Well,
look,
yeah,
let's cut to it.
This isn't the only problem Mitch McConnell has.
Okay, but look,
he needs to see it as the treaty it is.
Dan Henninger was on this program just a few moments ago. Yeah. He says, look, it's virtually a done deal. And you're not going to stop it in the Congress by making it into a treaty. It's not going to happen. So why don't you just let the Democrats
doesn't make it into a treaty. It is a treaty. Whatever we call it, it's still a treaty. That's what it is.
No, officially, it's not. Dan Henninger says, why don't you just let the Democrats have it and let them pay the price for it, just like Obamacare?
And see, that's what our leadership has been thinking. Look, their thinking is Iran's going to get nuclear weapons no matter what. And if we block this ridiculous treaty, then we'll get to blame the Democrats when there is a Holocaust again. And we can say, see, it was Obama, it was Kerry, it was all these Democrats, because we Republicans did what we could, but we didn't stop it. And so it's all the Democrats' fault. What I'm saying, Stuart, is there is a Holocaust looming. And we have an obligation to stop it and not to play politics like this does. Okay. We can stop this if we call it what it is, call it a treaty, and quit playing political games, because Israel's at stake. They're the little Satan, but we are the great Satan, and this nation is at existential risk. So we need to step up and do the right thing and for once put politics aside.
Congressman Louie Gohmert, we hear you, and thank you very much for making a strong case on this program. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you.
Now, next case, the top guy at United Airlines. He stepped aside. Allegedly, he was involved